Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take what does. If it does not, leave what does not. All right, so I thought we'd pull an empowering question card and see what comes up for Capricorn. Oh, okay, well, we had 3 spill out, so let's see what these have to say. How do I show love to myself, to others? All right. How do you do that? Oh, we had 4 come out. That's a good question. How do you show yourself? What are my best qualities? Right? Do you show yourself love for your best qualities? Do you acknowledge your best qualities? Are you proud of yourself for your best qualities, whatever those are? What am I thankful for today, right? Being thankful for something every day. And then we have how and how often do I give myself permission to enjoy life? How do I feel then? Right? Having that freedom to just have that day where I'm just going to have fun, right? How do you enjoy life? What are those things that you do? How often do you do it? Do you do it enough? You know, is that something that energizes you? Is that something that lifts you up? Is that something that gives you the energy to be able to deal with other things in your life? And do you do that enough to recharge your batteries? I feel like that's sort of a recharge your batteries. So definitely some things to think about there for Capricorn. I feel like those are important things to think about is that brings you more in touch with yourself, right? That brings you more in touch of what are your needs? What is it that you need from yourself? You know, I always talk about with those relationships with that, the 5 love languages. Well, for yourself, right? What are those 5 love languages? What is that order of those? And do you give yourself those things, you know? Do you give yourself those positive affirmations? You know, do you buy yourself, you know, do little things for yourself? I mean, doesn't mean, you know, it has to be something big, but, you know, something little. Maybe you don't normally buy yourself, you know, dinner. You don't normally order out. So you're like, okay, well, I'm going to treat myself. Or maybe it's a place that you don't normally because it's a little more expensive. So you save up and then you're like, okay, I'm going to order out from this, you know, particular restaurant because I really love this, you know, what that they make, right? Just treating yourself or buying yourself something or doing something for yourself that makes you happy. And figuring out what those 5 love languages are within yourself and being able to provide that for yourself. Ace of Wands. Taking actions, is that something that you take actions on? Sometimes we like to say, yeah, I really like to go hiking, but, you know, I'm too busy. My life is too busy. I can't, you know, and finding out all of these excuses not to, but saying, you know what? I deserve to go hiking. So I'm going to set half of a day aside, or I'm going to set a day aside for me to just go do that. Right? And taking those actions and giving yourself permission to enjoy life and do those things that help you to recharge. Without worry, right? Because sometimes we'll feel guilty. We're like, well, I really shouldn't because, you know, this and that and this and that. But, you know, I feel like it's important to do something that does make you feel happy, that does feel you energized, that keeps you in a positive frame of mind, and to not worry about those things. And is it like, okay, I'm going to take actions to not worry about things that I can't control. I'm not going to take actions to not worry about, you know, things that I don't really need to worry about, that I can't change, that I can't affect. And I'm going to take actions to not have this spinning in my head all the time because I can't do anything to change it, right? I'm going to take actions to not be in this 9 of Swords energy, right? I'm going to take actions to be in the Sun energy, to be in positive energy. That's something that I feel that we have to be made aware of, because I almost feel like subconsciously and naturally, like not everyone, but sometimes, you know, people will go to the negative when they react to something. What's your first reaction to something? Is it negative or is it positive? And to be more aware of that and seeing, okay, am I going to go to the Nine of Swords energy or am I going to go to the sun energy? And just being more aware of that and having that back and forth. And sometimes until you can get yourself to try and look towards the positive, it's going to be that back and forth, right? Between those two, between the Nine of Swords and the sun energy. And having that confidence to be able to realize what's going on and being stronger. And because sometimes we're so used to the Nine of Swords that's where we're stronger at, but turning that around to so that the stronger is in the sun energy and feeling confident within ourselves, right? Confidence is something that is so important in so many areas of our lives, which I didn't even realize how important confidence was, which is something that I definitely have lacked most of my life. Or I've never had enough of. And to be honest, I want all the confidence that I can have. All right, so we have the Two of Cups, so that could represent the relationship with yourself. It could represent the relationship with other people. If you're in relationships with other people, what is it that you do? Or do you go to the Nine of Swords? Do you go to the Sun card? It's also like starting new relationships. Sometimes when we're hurt a lot from the back, from before, that if we start a new relationship, we're like, okay, how long is it going to be before you hurt me? How long is it going to be before you put me in this Nine of Swords energy? How long is it before you let me down? How long is it before you do something that's going to upset me? And if we're in that energy of saying that, how long is it going to be before something negative, we have to, then we're putting up walls around ourselves before we even start in a relationship, or if we're in a relationship that we have all these walls around ourselves. But I feel like it's turning that around and taking actions to focus on the positive and realizing, yes, like I already know this person is going to do something to upset me. This person is going to do something to let me go down. This person is going to do something that's going to frustrate me. And how am I going to handle that, right? Am I going to look at the Nine of Swords and say, yep, see, I told you this person was going to hurt me, and then you start, being in that energy. But it's like, if you're in the sun energy, you're like, yeah, I realize that this happened, but this person really didn't mean that, right? This person didn't mean to hurt me. This person didn't mean to let me down, or maybe my expectations were too high, did I not explain something to someone enough for them to understand something? It's just kind of looking at it from a different perspective and different ways within a relationship. And if you're always going to the negative, how can we turn that around to be the positive, and to change that so that if someone lets you down, that it's not as hurtful, it's not as stinging as, obviously if it's something big and it's something major, that's not what I'm talking about. It's something that's on a lesser scale, that if you're letting all these little things affect you, maybe letting those go, right? Not letting the little things bother you, and not letting it create disagreements and arguments. You know what I mean? It's just like, is it really that important to get into it with that person? And if I want to pick fights with someone, why am I picking fights with someone? Why am I doing that? What am I looking for, right? What am I trying to gain from it? And just looking at relationships in a different way and really seeing, does this person really love me and care for me? And so they did something that upset me, but I know that they weren't trying to hurt me. It was like their perspective, which I wasn't understanding. Or maybe they were having a hard day. Maybe they were having a bad day. Just kind of looking at things from a different perspective to bring those relationships closer, right? And if we start new relationships, if we're starting a new relationship, whether it's a friendship or it's a partnership, it's like not always having this big Nine of Swords in the back of your mind saying, this, I know this person's going to cheat on me. I know this person's going to leave me. I know this person's going to lie to me. Like, if that's how you go into a relationship, then that's what's going to happen, is that it's, you're putting that energy out there. But not having those walls up around you before you even start within the relationship. And I feel like this is kind of a new action for you, right? This is something new and this is something different. We have the page, which is young energy, and actions, new actions, right? It's looking at relationships differently, and taking those actions to make sure that you're not in the Nine of Swords energy. I just feel like it's something that we need to look at even within our relationships and within ourselves too. When we have challenges that come up, are we automatically into the negative? Right? Are we all automatically irritated and mad and angry? Yes, you can go through those feelings, and you can have those feelings, and it's the process of going through it. But then it's like we want to make sure that we don't get stuck in that Nine of Swords energy. It's exhausting. It's exhausting doing mental work. You know, it's exhausting, you know, feeling tired. Sometimes when you're tired, it's just like you're like, I can't even do it, right? I can't hang in there. I have all of these wands, but it's also the Ten of Wands is completions, in that he's letting those go, right? He's letting the nine wands go. Like, I'm getting this off my back. I still have one wand left. You know, it's been exhausting. It's been tiring, but it's something that, you know, he's proud of himself for having brought all the wands to the destination. Like, he did it, right? And I feel like that's you too, is kind of realizing this and then being able to do it, to actually take the actions to make things happen. You know, being aware of what your thought process is, being aware of putting those walls down and not being in the Nine of Swords, having that confidence, having that energy, rewarding yourself, praising yourself for your best qualities, looking out for yourself, being positive towards yourself, saying what you're thankful for, right? Putting yourself in that sort of energy. And it can be exhausting. And sometimes you're just like, I don't even want to deal with it. I just want to be negative and angry today. And that's okay. Like, you can have those days. I just want to be in the Nine of Swords today. And that's fine. We all have those days. But again, it's like making sure that that may be on the outside, but right here in the middle, we have the sun, and making sure that we get back to the sun, right? That we get back to the middle with that positive energy. And I feel like that makes the relationship stronger, makes relationships better. And if you're starting a new relationship, you're starting it out on the right foot, right? You're giving the relationship a chance, right? If you go in with a negative attitude, then you're not even giving the relationship a chance to start from the beginning. But if you're going in with the sun energy, then you're like, okay, I'm giving it positive energy. I'm giving this relationship the best chance that I can. And then if you have to adjust things in the future, that's fine. But at least starting out on the right foot. I feel that's very important. You have to get yourself in the sun energy first, right? You have to do that first before you can work on other relationships. You have to get yourself in a positive frame of mind and rewarding yourself and doing those things for yourself. And even within a relationship, you have to make sure that you take that time to do those things that make you happy, right? Because that's sort of, you know, within a relationship, is that you have to do those things that help you to feel energized and help you to feel fulfilled, that those things that you enjoy doing. And that helps the relationship, right? Because you're happy, you're in a good frame of mind, you're feeling good. And if that's something that you can do with your partner, that's amazing. And if it's something that you want to do on your own, that should be important too, right? Sandpiper spirit, be playful, have fun, right? Go to the beach, having fun. That's an important part of a relationship, is that lighter side within yourself and with your partner. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.